going here before I finish making those strings sound good. Okay. Let's go. We're good now. Okay. So I got everything tuned up here. Sounds good. It's holding tuning as well. I'm hitting the strings really hard and everything's holding the tuning very nicely, which is great. So again, just to show you the Floyd, I've got it flattened right out here. It's kind of sorry, it's hard to see with the black, but it's pretty much like almost exactly flat with the body, which is fantastic because when I put the whammy bar on, it's gonna play really nicely when I try to grab it. You know, when you're strumming and you grab it right away, you want to easily be able to grab onto the end of that thing, and you want some room to breathe, I guess, as it were. You know, I'm not Yngwie J. Malmsteen or anything like that. I can't do any of that stuff, but that said, if I got somebody that comes into the studio here and they want to use this guitar on a track, I mean, that's what my equipment's here for too. It's not just for me, it's for anyone to use. And so they might grab it and see that it's got really nice setup action on it. Intonation is all set. The whammy bar is nice and ready to use. And yeah, so that helps. Okay, so now we got to fix the intonation. The intonation is out because I increased the gauge of the strings, and this will happen when you increase or decrease the gauge of your strings. You got to fix the intonation on your guitar, which is, I'm not gonna lie to you, a little bit of a pain in the butt. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take another Allen key, a smaller size Allen key, and what we're going to do is we're going to change the intonation on a Floyd by, can you see that there? Maybe I should turn it. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so these little keys are right underneath the strings here. Okay, they're right underneath there. You can see those little nuts there. So basically, on a Floyd, if you're, let me see, the best way to explain this would be you want to use your 12th fret as a way to check the intonation, because that's kind of the midpoint between your bridge and your neck, or your lock nuts. And so what you want to do is take your guitar and check your tuning and just hit the harmonic on the 12th fret. Okay? Hit the harmonic, check your tuning, okay? Get it right in tune as close as you can on the harmonic. And double check by just hitting the open string. The 12th fret harmonic is going to be the exact same note. Okay, and then you want to press on the 12th string and see what happens. This one's pretty close. It's just a tad sharp. Okay, so tad sharp, what does that mean? So what that means now is on the guitar, what I've got to do is this whole piece right here. Okay? This whole piece here, I need to move this piece a little further back. Okay? When I move this piece back, it's gonna move the string as well, so I'm gonna have to loosen the string a little bit, otherwise it'll be too much tension for me to loosen it back. So what I like to do is I take my needle nose pliers, okay, and as I'm loosening it, first of all I take the tension off the string. This is why it's kind of a pain to do, because you have to keep loosening and tightening the strings, loosen, tightening, loosening, tightening. Once you get really good at doing the intonation, it's going to be super easy for you to know just how much to move this peg back or forward if it's flat. like how much, like a millimeter, a half a millimeter. It doesn't take a lot of movement. That's why there's not a lot of room there, because a little bit of movement does a lot. So anyway, loosen the string, loosen the lock after you've taken the tension off with the string, and then what I do is I take these and I just push it back slowly a little bit, and as I'm holding that, then I tighten the nut back up, and then quickly retune the string and check to see how you did. And that's basically all that you need to do. And of course you need to do that on each string, which again lends itself to why I said it's kind of a pain in the butt, especially when you're doing it for the first time and starting to get familiar with your guitar and how much movement needs to take place on that little piece. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back and we should be good. Okay, we're back. We got her done. Excellent. Finally got her done. Staying in tune nicely. Looks good. So now all I got to do is just put it back together. Pro tip, if you want to minimize buzz, things like that, especially on a Floyd, when you put your cover back on, what I do is I pack this with foam. Yeah. Pack it with some foam, put your cover back on top. That prevents any kind of feedback from the springs, things like that. And then the other thing I do is right up here to prevent any of that happening. Doesn't happen often because of the lock nuts, but just in case, what I do is I wedge another piece of foam right underneath the strings here. And then that way I don't get any extra buzzing or anything like that either. So yeah, just helps when you're recording. When you're playing live, I guess it's not such a big deal, but when you're recording, it can make all the difference from that little high annoying frequency that you might get to maybe not hearing that annoying frequency at all. Right? Okay, let's plug it in and see how it sounds.